Hello friends, welcome to part 2 episode of this series, and in this episode we are going to open up the CVT cover and see what's wrong inside. So to open the CVT cover we need to open the side cover first, and it's held by 3 screws. So for the ease of shooting it, I have already loosened the screws before so that it becomes easy to open it with one hand, as I am holding the camera with my other hand, so it becomes a little bit easy. So this is the second screw, and here you can see the third screw. So after opening all the screws, the only thing that is holding it is the locks, slide locks, and you can see after sliding it to the back side, it opens up. You can see the gap right here. You have to slide the panel towards the rear end of the scooter and it opens up, and then you need to gently pull it out and it pops out. You have to be very careful, otherwise you might break the locks. So again I'm using one hand, so it becomes a little bit difficult, so I'm doing this off camera. So you can see it's open halfway, and these are all the locks that I was talking about. So you can see it's completely opened. Now let's keep it aside and move on to the next thing that we are going to open right now. So the next thing to open is this rubber hose, and it's held on with a single clamp. After that we need to open all the bolts around. There are about 8 bolts. So now I'm going to open up this rubber hose. It's held by a single clamp. So by opening this screw, the entire clamp is going to come off, and then I'm going to gently pull the rubber hose off from the CVT cover. You have to take your time while doing this. So you can see the rubber hose is opened up, and you can see this is the clamp. It doesn't matter if you put it in any direction, it will work. And the hose seems okay, it looks okay from the inside. So now I'm going to open up all the bolts. So before opening all the bolts, you need to open this bolt from here, which holds the brake lines. While doing so, actually the nut which was behind the bolt, it broke off. It was not welded properly. Anyhow, it's okay. So now we're going to open all the bolts around the CVT cover. So it is around 8 bolts. So one bolt is a little bit larger than all the others, and yeah, you are going to need a T-wrench to do that. Here I'm using an 8mm T-wrench. So you can see an 8mm T-wrench. So most of your work you're going to need only 2 T-wrenches. One is 8mm and the other one is 10mm. So you can see all the bolts are open, and these are all the bolts. So you can see one bolt on the left is a little bit larger and the other ones are smaller. You can observe a little bit of rust on these bolts. That's a clear sign of water penetration. So before putting everything back, I'm going to lubricate these bolts a little bit. So the cover actually it's fitted with silicone sealant, but actually silicone sealant will not work because it has open ports from below and from side so that the air can pass through, and there is no reason of applying silicone sealant on the edge of this cover. So due to this silicone sealant, the cover is still stuck, and I'm going to need a little bit of tapping to open it up. So I used a screwdriver bit, you can see, and tapped it lightly on the edge and it became loose right on the corner, but don't tap too hard because it might damage the aluminum. So you can see, despite of pulling the cover, it's not coming out. That's because the air cleaner is stopping it. So you can see right here where the self-start motor fits, you can see on the corner the air cleaner is stopping it from coming out. So I need to open up the air cleaner. Now to open the air cleaner, you don't need to open the screws, because if you open the screws, the air cleaner itself will open up. But what we need is to dismount this air cleaner from the engine, and it's been suspended with 2 bolts. You can see this is the mounting posts where the air cleaner is tightened with bolt. You can see this is the first bolt right over here, and the other one is on the right side. So I'm going to use the other T-wrench, which is 10mm. So you can see I have opened up the bolts that hold the air cleaner and it's loose. Now I can easily lift the air cleaner and pull out the cover. So you can see the cover is completely out of the engine. So I can see a little bit of black residue which is from the belt, I believe, and a little bit of rust, which is a clear sign of water. And in the front section you can see there is no grease or oil or anything where the kick lever kick start mechanism fits. So it's completely dry and I can see why it was jamming. So this is the mechanism, the fan like structure that circulates the air inside. So let me show you the mounting posts of the air cleaner again. So one is here, you can see, and the other one is right over here. So these 2 bolts actually hold the air cleaner in its place, and this is the CVT that I was talking about. This is the centrifugal clutch. You can see by rotating the drum of the centrifugal clutch, the power goes through the gearbox to the wheel, and it's a reduction gearbox. So the belt seems okay, there is no damage on the belt and the pulleys and everything. So the CVT works by increasing or decreasing size, the diameter of the pulley, which in turns changes the drive ratio and acts as a gear. We'll make a separate video related to CVT. So you can see here, this is the self starter motor, and this is the gear that engages when we press the self starter switch. So one thing that I want to say, that you can see here that there are no burn marks on the centrifugal clutch drum. That's because a lot of people, they don't know that in scooters you never throttle up and apply the brakes at the same time, because it will burn the the centrifugal clutch drum, and it will wear out your shoes. So never apply the brake and the throttle at the same time. So this is the reason why my centrifugal clutch drum is not burned. So now we are going to apply grease to this cover. So this is the end of this video, guys. I'll see you in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share my channel. I'll see you in part 3. Have a good day.